I hear all this chatter now about we don't really know who the great teams are. I think we saw one of them last night. And even though the offense continues to be, at times, lacking in identity and the play calling, the product of a random play generator, holy crap, that defense. Now that they have Jalen Phillips, that has pushed them over the top. They've got the pass rush, punch. They were slapping balls around last night. It was comical for the Eagles. It was sad for the Lions. I haven't seen the Lions play like that offensively in a long time, and I don't think we've ever seen Jared Goff struggle like that. 14 for 37 last night. And in the second half, it was very bad, and they failed 5 or more times on fourth down conversions. Since it's the first time that's happened since 2022, and that's kind of when Dan Campbell first flexed his muscles with the willingness to go for it on fourth down all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it was the Eagles' defense is special, and it's going to continue to go that way. You heard me gushing about them last week. I did it on my podcast, especially after the Monday Night Football game. I mean, the Eagles have the all-look team. You've been hearing me say that for 3 years now. They're incredible. The Lions, for the first time last night, found out what the Eagles are all about. They stepped on the football field. The Lions, almost every game in the Dan Campbell era, they step on a football field. They go, we're the more physical football team. When we were on pregame warmups, I sat there and looked at Devin McCourty, and I went, the Lions are big, but they still ain't the Eagles. And he looked at me and went, nope, you're right. The Eagles are an incredible football team, and the Lions are going to have to adjust the way they play the next time they play the Philadelphia Eagles. The defense, like you just said, I mean, it's the all-look team. When you talk about the 2 Georgia guys in the middle, and then Nolan Smith and Jalen Phillips on the edge, and Campbell and Nakobe Dean at linebacker, and we're watching Cooper DeJean really become one of the best secondary players in football. We've talked about Quinyon Mitchell's already one of the best corners in football. I mean, yeah, that was a special performance. That was dominant. That was an ass whooping is what that really was there. I mean, they took away everything. You didn't see, here's the tip passes that you talked about. That was obviously an emphasis for this Eagles defense throughout the night. When they want to throw the ball over the middle, big guys get your hands up. They dominated the Lions in pass pro. They dominated the Lions in the run game and really couldn't find any holes throughout the middle of the night. And then as you down the middle for the most of the night. And then as you talked about, you know, the conversation of Jared Goff not looking good. Of course, the defense not good, but missing throws and out in the elements, windy, cold night, all of that. Not a good night for Detroit. And you're right. It's been a long time since I've seen them look like that, where there was like no answers on the field for them as the night went on.
Jared Goff was 7 for 25 passing in the second half, 28% completions, the lowest in the second half for a player with 20 or more attempts since Brian Hoyer was 6 for 23 against the Dolphins in October of 2015. That's from Josh Dubow of the AP. And Pete Demolitis pointed out last night, lowest second half completion percentage in the last 4 seasons with a minimum of 15 attempts. Jared Goff yesterday with 28%, and Shedeur Sanders yesterday, who made his debut. We'll talk about that later, with 25%.
You saw the second half of the game. I mean, you know, all they could do was complete a screen to Jahmyr Gibbs, right? That was really their big play the second half. Certainly, it was good defense. There was the batted balls like you talked about. But he missed throws, too. There was probably at least 5 or 6 opportunities where you go, oh, boy, this guy's open. You could fit that in there, or you don't have to fit that in there. You just got to make a throw and put it in the vicinity. And he didn't do that either. So, yes, it was an off night. They were flustered. All right, This is the first time I think they've been in a football game where they're like, whoa, we're definitely not the for sure alpha male team on the football field here. And it showed. And I just think you're seeing, like you're talking about, this Eagles defense is feeling itself now. I think Jalen Carter's totally healthy. They've gone to the next level with the scheme of Vic Fangio. They're doing more than what they even did last year. Not a whole lot more, but they don't need to do a whole lot. And within that, when you have, like we always talk about, a front four that can go The 4 can get there in the pass rush. The 4 can stop the run. We don't need to load the box and worry about that all the time. It's just such a great advantage. And they got 4 freaks of nature up there. Really, they got more of that because you get into the depth chart of the Eagles, too. And what's scary is that you got right the Moro Ajomo guy. He'd be like a guy that, what's his name, that went up to New England last year and got the big deal in free agency, right? Milton. He's this year's Milton. He's a backup for the Eagles that will start on every team in football, and I don't know his contract details, but he'd be if he was a free agent, he'd get big money. But that's how good they are. And we're seeing the Eagles, struggle on offense, but does it really matter? I mean, I'm at the point where it's like, I don't know if it really matters. As long as they don't turn it over, I don't think you can beat them, even when they play average offense. That's how damn good the Eagles are. And, it's getting scary for the rest of the NFC.
They like to have that rotation of multiple guys beyond 4 that can come in and provide pressure without help, without blitzing. And that's the key. And look, we saw one of the limitations we've known about with Jared Goff. He can't run away from trouble. He can't do things off schedule. The play that's called has to be there. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.